Hello and welcome to another episode of the Farr Show, where I am Farr, and tonight we're talking about my dream game console. What are we talking about here? We're going to get into some specs and what it does exactly. So, I'm going to call it the way too far system because I've taken this way too far. Nobody's asked me to get my dream game console, but we're going to do it anyway. Let's start talking about what my dream game console would be here. So, I want to point out this is going to be kind of like a Switch and a Steam Deck because I love the Switch. I'm getting a Steam Deck. I'm really excited to see what these systems are. So, big thing is the portable unit. These are not, I'm nowhere near an expert on this stuff, so these are just random figures for prices. But the portable unit, I would say, would be $400. They'd be selling it at a big loss, but game sales would end up making up for some of that. So I have a display of a 7-inch OLED 720p, and it goes up from 30 hertz to 120 hertz, and it's a touchscreen. So it depends on the game what the hertz run at, obviously, so meaning the frame rate. So I put it there because I love the Switch's OLED screen. I think that's the best feature of the new Switch OLED, which it should be, honestly, but I think that's a cool thing. Then for controllers, I have controllers kind of like Joy-Cons where they're detachable. I think the Joy-Con idea is just great overall. The CPU would be an AMD Zen 2, which is kind of what's being used in the deck and what's in the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. And I know what you're thinking, Damien, that's going to be really powerful. Well, it's going to have cooling and everything. Obviously, I'm not an exact genius on this type of things. And then we got, for the GPU, we got an AMD RDNA 2, and then with RAM we got 16 gigabytes of GDDR6 RAM because it's faster overall. And then media, it'll take game card or digital download. The storage, it'll come with a 512 gigabyte NVMe SSD like the Steam Deck. Removable storage, you will be able to use a micro SD card up to 2 terabytes at launch is the idea, and then future on they'll add more. Sound, I put in here as well with 2-channel stereo speakers with a headphone jack, and then when it's plugged in, you can go to 7.1 surround sound because that's what I personally have, surround sound. So I feel like that's a cool unit overall. So we have a normal dock as well, but I'm more excited for this power unit is what I'm calling it. So you got portable and power unit. I think those are two really dumb names, but it'll get the point across of what they are. So the power unit, which you can buy and have separately. You don't need the main unit, the portable unit, but it makes it just a better overall experience. And well, honestly, now that I'm looking at it, I didn't put a CPU in the power unit, so you do need the portable unit. My bad. So display, it'll go from 1080p up to 8K 30 hertz to 100 or 240 hertz is the idea. Controllers, I like the idea of it being like a PlayStation 5 controller in a way, where you can still use those Joy-Cons, but you also have this other option. I like how the Switch works, where you can use a Pro controller or you can continue using Joy-Cons, whichever you prefer. We got graphics, AMD RDNA 2, and I know what you're thinking. There's going to be 2? Yes, that'll come into play in just a minute though. There's going to be 16 more gigs of RAM. There's going to be storage, 1 terabyte NVMe SSD. And then you can add another NVMe SSD up to 4 terabytes. Up to 4 terabytes internal, and external you can add 8 terabytes. I don't know. I'm not really a genius on how stuff like that works. Sound, you can do surround sound when it's in the dock, once again. Ports, this is the big thing that I always like to talk about. USB-C for docking the portable unit. USB-C for power for the dock and accessories. 4 USB 3.0 ports, or 3.1 ports, 2 HDMI 2.1 ports, and a gigabit Ethernet port. Probably more than a gigabit at this point now, but that's okay. So I like the idea that it has 2 HDMIs, and the reason I like that is there is the option with how much power this thing's going to have that you could technically do dual monitors or dual TVs if you really want to. I think that'd be a cool option to have. And then also, the virtual reality unit here is what I'm getting to next, but before we do, the power unit is going to be $400 as well, so that's $800 total that you're paying for really a Super Switch and a Super Steam Deck, I would say. Then we got a virtual reality unit, which I'm calling it's based off the PSVR 2, which I didn't say it. The power unit's based off like the PlayStation 5, and then the portable unit is based off the Switch and Steam Deck. I assume you know that by now. So this virtual reality unit's kind of based off the PSVR 2, the announced specs that they have, which this will be $400 as well, probably selling it at a loss again. But it's the fact that people are going to love this platform so much that they will buy the games and you will make the money back. So display, you got 2000 pixels by 2040 pixels per eye, 120 hertz OLED screen. Always go OLED if you can. You do have burn-in issues in the future, but I think burn-in much weighs out the risk of burn-in is much weighed out by the screen just being so much better and better on battery life. This one will be wired. I like the idea of thinking that you can buy an accessory to make it wireless though, so I like that idea. I didn't put that in here. Tracking, inside-out tracking, there's going to be 4 built-in cameras with eye tracking, because that's the new thing that's going around, which I think it's kind of a cool idea as a man who's VR, that it tracks where your eyes are looking would be kind of cool. Sound, you get a headphone jack with 3D audio, kind of like what the PlayStation VR is going to have. Controllers, they're going to have the option for PSVR type controllers as well, so VR controllers, which I think would be awesome as well. The fact that you can then have your Joy-Cons for portable, your Pro controllers for normal, and then these VR controllers as well. There's a lot of controllers, obviously. But the idea that you can just put them on... I like the idea that there's going to be separate docks sold separately, that you can just put the controllers that you're not using in them. I think that'd be kind of a cool situation. So, honestly, what do you think? What system would you want? This would be an expensive system. I mean, $400, $400, $400. That's $1,200 total if you want everything. But at the same time, that's kind of a good deal for all this, if you think about it, how good of specs you're getting here. So I think it'd be worth it personally, but would I buy it? Yes, I would buy it. It's my dream console. I mean, come on, you read the title. What is your dream console? Tell me in the comments below. It could be a PC too. I mean, I'll take that. This is pretty much a PC that's supercharged. Tell me in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and have a far off night.